What's up, Bug? I'm Doug.
I'm Eric.
And we are D&E in the garage, and today we're going to put a hitch and hitch lights on a Jeep Grand Cherokee WJ. Alright guys, here is my new WJ. It is not my first WJ. It's the most recent in a long line of WJs, which means I already have a hitch from my last WJ and hitch wiring. Now, putting this stuff into a WJ is very simple. It's all bolt-on. It doesn't take a lot of time. What you are going to need is a jack, a buddy, and some tools. First thing we're going to do is put this hitch in. All right, now the WJ hitch goes on the same studs that your gas tank skid plate is on, and your gas tank skid plate holds your gas tank in. So the first thing you're going to have to do is get a jack, or I suppose you could do this with some wood if you crammed it in there, and just sort of support your gas tank. Now, nobody judge me on how rusty, crusty, and generally holy my gas tank skid is. It's getting replaced. At some point, you can hear it. Oh, it's so bad.
Gently now, Douglas.
It's pretty bad. These things rot out like crazy. Oh, well, that's not good.
We should get wood. Here's wood. Here's wood.
Put that in there, will you?
Oh.
Just knock that off of there. And I like to do it just so the vehicle starts lifting up a little so that you know you really have it on there. Alrighty, now to mount this thing, like I said, you need to remove some of the bolts that hold the gas tank in. Now, I actually removed one too many. You're gonna have to come under here and remove the first two on the skid plate, and then there's a third one you need to remove that's back here. It's the bumper support bolt. It's another 19 mil, which these are. There are a lot of ways you can go about doing it. What I like to do, so that I can still use an impact gun, is I drill a little hole right here in the bumper with a 1/2-inch drill bit, and that lets me put an extension through. You're never going to see it. The only other way to get to it is to take the bumper off, really, because it's too awkward and it's got too much torque holding it on there for it to be removed with a ratchet. So I'm going to drill a hole in the bumper. Shall we then? Hold up, don't. Alright friends, that got a little bit hectic. You can see it is a two-person job. We're done now though. As you can see, you're tied in here and here to the same bolts that hold the skid plate up, and then the third one, which is back up here. Now the thing about this bolt is you need some kind of spacer to make up the space. You see here, the skid plate is sandwiched between the hitch and the body right there. You need some kind of spacer. Now, if you buy one of these new, it's going to come with the spacer. Since mine was used, I'd lost the old spacers. I used 2 grade 8 washers that made up the same amount of space, but you can't just cinch this down. It's not going to sit right. You don't want to play around with a hitch. Now, final thing to keep in mind with WJ hitches is this. This hitch is aftermarket. This style that comes below the bumper will fit all of them. You can see this area here, this line on my bumper here. The limiteds that came with the factory tow package had a hitch that sits higher, and this is cut out. It's just something to think about. If you're buying a hitch for a Laredo and you're getting an aftermarket one, this Kurt one is the one you're going to get. If you try to find one in a junkyard and you pull it off a limited, it very well may come up here. I'm installing lights on a WJ is actually real easy. There's a little port behind this body panel on the driver's side where you literally just plug this thing into it, and then you run your trail wires out to the back, and that's about it. So you got to get this panel off. Depending on your year, there's different fasteners. You do have to take these 2 cargo tie downs off. They come off first. A screwdriver right here. A lot of these body panels are held on with little pop clips. Just take your time, you'll figure it out. You are going to have to take off, you can see this overlaps and this overlaps this, so you may have to pull this piece down and then this piece down, and also this. It all overlaps to paint. Taking apart the interior of a WJ really sucks, and I didn't realize that until I had an XJ. I went to do the headliner in the XJ, and the whole friggin' interior is held on with 4 bolts. It's great. That is not the case in our beloved WJ. All right, I got an interesting little situation here. Can you see my bolt? It's my screw. This is actually a screw. I was thinking it was a bolt head. Look over here. You can barely make it out on this one. For some reason, these back screws are so friggin' corroded that I'm going to try to dig it out to get the screwdriver in there, but it's looking like I might have to either break that bolt head off, the screw head off, or try to pry this body panel off. The point is you need to remove these two tie downs. You're gonna have to get that out for sure, and then you can start prying down the D pillar here and the other stuff. I'm gonna struggle with this, and you know, you're probably not gonna run into this problem. I'll struggle with this and then we'll figure it out. All right, for right now, I don't think I can get that. So what I'm gonna try to do is pry this off. Nothing's ever easy. All right, so I got this top piece popped down just enough that I can get in here and start removing this D pillar. It comes down like that. There we go. Okay, that's a little bit of energy. And then this, I believe, is just held in with some more pop clips. Now, normally this little screw would be out and it'd be real easy to pull this out. Alrighty, I accidentally ended up breaking this little piece right here. It's not too big of a problem. I'll be able to slide it back under there when I go to put it all together. You can see this thing's held on. Once you get the two main screws out of here, it's held on with a series of pop clips. You may want to put your seat down like I did. Depending on your year and your trim model, it's going to look a little bit different back here, but the important stuff is all going to be here. On this 2001 Limited, behind this little, whoop, man, I just broke that, is going to be this door and this green clip right here. See this guy? This is what we're looking for. This is one of the reasons I love the WJ, because it's super easy to go ahead and put trailer lights in a WJ. You buy the kit, and it's as simple as done. My trailer lights are now installed. All right, at this point, all you have to do, once that's plugged in, put your brain box little confuser guy here someplace. It has a little tab, you can screw it someplace. I sort of just tuck it in this little cubby and be done with it. Then it's time to run your wires. I like to run them nice and clean along this, behind this carpet all through here, so that they poke out right here. It does make them a little shorter at the end, but then they're run nice and clean. They're not just hanging out. You could just have them pop right out down here. All right, I made the choice. On this one, I'm going to have it pop out right here, I think, because I want as much length as possible, because the one trailer I tow has a real short pigtail. The hard part is done, but the aggravating part is just beginning. You got to line up all of these little pop clips and get everything tied back in together. There's no good, easy way to do it. It's just kind of a pain in the butt. Work your way around, line things up. This would be another good place to have a buddy. Unfortunately, Eric had to split. Now, these pop clips come with these long pieces of plastic. These are locating pins. Use them to help you. There's a hole. This is where the clip goes, but there's a hole here on the vehicle to help you locate. Use them. Let them be your friend. The first time I ever did a WJ interior, I thought they were in my way, so I cut them all off. Without realizing my mistake. What are you gonna do, right? All right, get that under there and over there, and then it's all popped together. Not bad. Get this one back up. Get our weather stripping back where she goes. I think that not putting my weather stripping back where it goes is part of the reason my other WJ was moldy this summer. If you ever want to see a truly horrifying video, check out the video I put out in like August of my other WJ getting moldy. I had to take the seats out, clean everything, shoot. And I suspect that rainwater accumulated in there because I did not have the weather stripping perfectly back the way it was. Now I don't have a trailer up here right now to test these lights out. I recommend that you try to test yours before you button everything back up again. I'm gonna be real annoyed if they all of a sudden don't work, but I know this harness worked before, so unless there was something wrong on the WJ, there's no reason they shouldn't work. You can always test them with a multimeter. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll get the multimeter out, have somebody step on the brakes. Yeah, all right, friends, there you have it. WJ's all put back together. I got my trailer lights. I still need to test them, but I'm confident they work. I got my hitch down there. Whole process took about an hour. Got any questions, by all means leave me that comment down there in the squawk boxes. I will try to leave a couple links to where you can get these two pieces. You can get them on Amazon. I think that's where I got them. E-Trailer is another good place that sometimes you can get them more affordably, or go to the junkyard. A lot of times these things make it to the junkyard and they have all this stuff. So if you have any questions, by all means leave me a comment down there in the squawk boxes. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.